works? Okay. I use these unfinished pine boards for a backyard rink to hold the tarp and the water in. But the kids have outgrown the backyard rink, so now it's time to make something out of these unfinished pine boards. This is the best board I've cut so far. It ended up with 22 strips with a little left over. Here's the results of another board that had lots of knots, a lot more broken strips. These strips hopefully we can use for joiners, so to offset the joints. So now I have the strips made. However, when they go around the bottom of the boat and where it curves, there'd be a gap between the strips. So now we have to make the strips fit together. So to fit the strips together, I will use a bead and a cove router bit on the router table, and that will make the strips fit together. Get the bead so it's right in the middle of the wood. Also get the right depth into the wood. I'm going to take a short strip and do a test strip, make sure everything is set up properly. Make sure you feed the wood in the same direction as the arrows are pointing. And the bead looks like it's in the middle and it's at a good depth. I'm using 3/4 inch chipboard. I've screwed the two boards together, so I only have to draw out half as many forms, because there's one at the front has an equal one at the back, so when I cut out the forms, they'll be identical, the front and the back ones. Now to cut the forms. I built this 12-foot long strong back, or rack basically, to hold the forms in place to build the canoe. I've attached the forms to the strong back. I put tape over the edges of the forms, so when I glue the strips, the excess glue does not make the strips stick to the forms. I've started attaching the strips to the forms. The first row, I believe, is called stringers. I screwed those to the forms. I've tried to wipe as much of the excess glue away off the wood, so I won't have to sand so much later on. I filled this little syringe with wood glue. I put it in the glue in the groove,